Morning. Good morning. Have impromptu bus stop live, not from the bus stop. Usually I do this on Facebook, but I figured I'd do it on YouTube today. Okay. Hold on. We are live, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How come it's not working? You guys out there? Are we live? I don't see. Okay, there's the comments coming in. Everyone, X is coming in, but YouTube is not for some reason. Hold on. Are we live on YouTube? All right, cool. We're good on YouTube. Awesome. All right, guys. Happy election day. Look at, usually I do this on Facebook, but figured I'd do it from YouTube today because it's a special day. It's election day. Anyway, I do this every morning. Usually I do it when I'm getting the kids right on the bus, but there's no school today because it's election day, and I guess my kid's school is a polling place. So, yeah, go vote today. I'd prefer, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I prefer, I'm not going to tell you, nobody gives a shit about, nobody likes me enough to vote for people's opinions on politics are so strong. No one's going to change their political opinions because of me, no matter how charming I am or how much they like me. So I recognize that. But if you live in Pennsylvania or Arizona or Michigan or Wisconsin or Georgia or Nevada or, even New Hampshire, get out, vote for Donald Trump, get out there. So, because I can't listen to her for 4 years. I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot listen to her for 4 years. Or North Carolina. Thank you. Another good one. All right. So anyway, that's that. So I do this every morning from the bus stop, but there's no bus stop today. So it is what it is. Look at, I'm going to be real quick. So a lot has happened kind of in the last 24 hours. And by the way, tonight on this live show, I am doing election coverage starting probably around 7:30. And if you don't agree with my political opinions, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But just giving you a warning that I'm not unbiased. I'm not I'm openly rooting for Donald Trump to win the presidency. So if you watch my stream tonight, that's it's like watching a football game with somebody if you're a Patriots fan, they're playing the Jets, and you're watching me watch the Patriots game, but you're a Jets fan. You're not going to like me. Okay. So I'm just giving you a warning. If you can handle it, great. If you feel like you can't, then, I get that too. But anyway, and my girl, especially if you live in New Hampshire Congressional District 2, my girl Lily there, how awesome is that lady? That lady is wild. I can't believe, I have not been paying attention to politics at all. But there's only 2 congressional seats in New Hampshire. One of them is up for grabs. The incumbent's not running anymore. It's a district that's probably Democrat plus 10. So they have a firm. In those districts, it's very hard for a Republican to win. And the woman running for the seat is not. She's originally from New Hampshire, I guess, but she's renting an apartment in Nashua. And New Hampshire's so shady. They have Nashua and Manchester are right near each other. They're not, they're 30 minutes apart. Those are the 2 biggest cities in New Hampshire. And if they put them in the same congressional district, right, Nashua and Manchester, then they would vote Democrat every time, that district. But it would mean the other district that doesn't include Manchester and Nashua would vote Republican every time. But they've gerrymandered it so that Nashua and Manchester are in different congressional districts. So both of them are slightly Democrat, and they did that on purpose. It's called gerrymandering. But if you're in new NH2, there's this chick, Polly Market's 62% Trump. Interesting. I thought I saw 54, but thank you. And grabbing those balls by the pussy. But yeah, so real quick. Yeah, so she's awesome. So this swamp creature, the wife of Jake Sullivan, who worked in the Obama and Biden administrations, he's just Washington insider. They're filthy rich, and she just rented an apartment in Nashua, and she's basically just running for she's I get to be congressman now. Like, I want to do this. And she has significantly more money than her opponent, who is a legitimate, like, fresh off the boat Chinese immigrant named Lily. And I started watching some clips, and I cannot believe I haven't seen these clips of the debate. And it is why, like, she's like straight. It's funny though. Like, she's like straight out of, like, you know, like central casting, as far as like what Family Guy would put up there as like a Chinese woman. You know what I mean? Like, says L's is R's and vice versa. And but she's just fucking badass, and she's just calling this woman out. And like, the white, I think she accused her of being like anti-white, the white woman. Like, it's wild shit. It's wild shit. So vote for Lily. I don't know if she's going to win. And I made a post yesterday to upset people. Like, I go, she's not going to win, but vote for her anyway. You know, I guess I should have said, like, yeah, like, I'm just being realistic. You know what I mean? Like, money matters in politics, and she's got significantly less money. So usually that's what that leads to. But anyway, I digress. Vote, get out there. I'm going to bring my kids to the polls today. We're going to get it done. It's going to be a nice day, and we'll see what happens tonight. On, you know, whatever. So anyway, as for other thing, real quick, just wanted to address this and then move on from it. So you might have seen, like, online that yesterday it was reported by Sean in the Gulf that that Michael Proctor has been fired. It was like 3 p.m. when my phone starts blowing. Everyone's like, Michael Proctor's been fired. This is huge news. My lawyers start contacting me, and they're like, wow, this is big news. You know what I mean? Like, this changes our whole strategy. Like, Michael Proctor's one of the victims in my case. And, you know, obviously the Kearney case is, everything changes as a result of this. It would have been huge, huge news if Michael Proctor's been fired. And I see that. I'm like, so where did we hear in this? And I'm like, they're like, Sean in the Gulf. And I'm like, okay. And now I keep my mouth, for the most part, I've kept my mouth shut about Sean in the Gulf. I've agreed, you know, like, I've silenced myself because I don't want to, you know, split people up and cause people called drama. I don't want to do any of that. But it's hard not to correct something when it's just wrong. And he's been wrong a number of times, and which is fine. People get shit wrong. But the problem is that Sean has influence and a platform. And with great power comes great, you know, responsibility, and people trust you. Like, it's very, if you read any of the comments, people are like, I trust you. You're a DEA agent. So it's really important that he get it right, because we are accusing the state police and the McAlberts of conspiring to cover up the death of a cop. Okay? Like, we are acute. Like, that's a tough sell. You know, like, that's the biggest obstacle we have to overcome in the Free Kearney movement, is to convince people, yeah, like, this horrible thing that you didn't think could possibly happen actually happened. So that's a tough sell. So it's really important that we stay on script, and that we don't, like, deviate, and we don't make shit up, and we don't do anything that can be like, don't say anything that's like a provable lie that can be used to discredit us. Because they'll say, well, if you're lying about this, what else are you lying about? So you got this wrong, you got this wrong. So you guys make shit up. And, you know, like, I gave it a pass kind of when he did that, like, QAnon rant like 3 or 4 months ago. That was just, so many people messaged me about that. And I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. He had a whole rant about how Google and Soros are involved in this. And I'm like, oh God. And then he had that guy, Nick Fiorillo and Dan Duquette on, who are legitimately crazy, both of them, who just make shit up. And he's like treating them like they're have legitimate grievances. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to say anything. And then he had that guy, Eldon Boyd, on, who is another crazy, whiny little bitch who only talks about himself, and he did his whole thing about, and Sean treated him like he was a victim and he was part of the conspiracy. I'm like, no, he's just an asshole. He's just an asshole who got what he got. He got what he got. He deserved it. Oh my God. Okay. And then there was when I got out of jail, he accused me of being he wouldn't talk to me because he said that, which is fine. But he said that it's because he thought that I was flipped in jail on him. And he had this whole rant about how they really want him and he's the big target. And Aidan, what if Aidan flipped on me and gave him information? Nobody cares about Sean on the golf. Like, it's like, nobody, he's funny. We all like Sean. Nice guy. But nobody, like Buchanan and them are not after Sean on the golf. They don't care about Sean on the golf because Sean doesn't leave the golf. He doesn't come to Massachusetts. He doesn't join protests. The rubber ducky people are more of a threat to the Massachusetts State Police than Sean on the golf is. Like, he's not a threat at all. Like, and it's funny, but it's not real. And I just need people to understand that. So anyway, I kept my mouth shut and I'm like, okay, because like I said, unity, and everybody's like, don't divide it. And I totally get it. And I don't want to do that. But then, you know, when the Proctor news came out yesterday, and that was, you know, I immediately started messaging other media sources, Ted Daniel, and several others, and Karen Reed herself. And I said, is there any truth to this? And she said, no. And she like immediately checked with their legal team, and they said, we have no idea what you're talking about. Like, none. And they would know, they would be alerted if they would announce it. Like, the state police are not going to fire, like the second he was suspended, they announced it. So they're going to do that, right? They cannot keep that a secret. So anyway, so that gets announced by him, and Christina Rex, within half an hour or an hour later, posts that, no, this isn't true. And she's checked with her sources, and she's not going to post that if it's not true. Okay. And I've seen no one else is posting this except Sean on the golf, and he has sources, but you can't tell you who the sources are. You just have to trust him because he's a DEA agent, and he's like Mr. Connected. Like, he's convinced a lot of people that he's Mr. Like, I'm going to solve this crime by myself. And to be honest, that's the reason Karen's team doesn't talk to him anymore, is because he would call them so much. And, you know, oh, you guys got to look into this. You got to look at this wand list, the tail light. You got to look into this. You got the car. And they were just like, we can't, none of the tips ever went anywhere. And they were like, this is distracting us from trying to get justice for Karen Reed, this sideshow. We're trying to save our client's life. And they were like, you know, we got to stop taking this guy's calls. And that's where the root of his anger came from on that rant last Mofo Monday, whatever, was, you know, when you need to talk, Karen, you need to tell us about the feds. It's just like, you know, you don't. And I made a response that wasn't necessarily, I didn't say his name. I'm like, now Karen Reed can do whatever she wants. She should do whatever she wants, whatever. And he sent me this text message telling me he's going to, I don't know. It was like something, I posted it. It was like, oh my God. It was, I'm seeing your posts. Are we going to have to redo this BS again? And all my posts were saying was that Karen Reed doesn't have to answer to anyone. She doesn't owe us anything, which was, you know, he viewed as an attack on him. And he said, are we going to do this BS again? It didn't go well for you last time. Or do you forget? Like, I'm supposed to be intimidated or scared by him. Stop playing the fucking games, or I come out and take ass. So he's going to take my ass. I don't know what that means. Just tell me how you want this to go. And I said, what posts saying that Karen doesn't owe us anything? You know, I don't know what tweets you're mad at. And, you know, and then he starts telling me, Karen Reed doesn't even like you. And here's what she said about you one time. And it's like, what do you think of that? And I'm like, Sean, I don't care about any of this. I just don't care. I have no interest in any of this drama. I'm just trying to report on the case. I don't care what Karen Reed said about me. Like, none of that matters. I don't care about anything. I have thick skin. I don't care if she said something mean about me or whatever, critical of me in a, you know, whatever. I don't care. I just don't care. So anyway, so that was last Tuesday, and it's been unraveling for a week. And then today, yesterday when the post came out, I'm like, well, this can't be, like, I go, this has to, like, when he posted the Proctor thing, I'm like, well, after all that he's been accused of this last week about, like, you report misinformation and things that don't turn out to be true, you know, if he's going to post something like that, maybe it's true, because that would just destroy his reputation if this turned out to be untrue. Like, it's a big one, you know, like the Proctor fired and not true. That's a big one. Like, he said that the owners of 34 Fairview Road were sitting with the Reeds because he saw Angela Chan O'Donnell there, and she's Asian. That's why he thought that they were sitting with the Reeds. Angela Chan O'Donnell does not live at 34 Fairview Road. She lives somewhere else in Canton. Okay, that was not the owner of Fairview Road. She's an Asian woman who happens to live in Canton, who he apparently thought was the new owner of 34 Fairview Road. That's not her. Okay. He said that the bulkhead door was taken by the FBI. That's untrue. The owners of 34 Fairview Road have confirmed that. And for the record, they support Karen. Like, they're on team. I've spoken to the owner there a couple of times. She agrees that Karen Reed is innocent. She wants justice. She just doesn't want to be involved. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to. She's not going to court. Let's just put it that way. And she's cooperated and helped. She let Alan Jackson in the house. Some of those pictures you saw at the trial, were from Alan Jackson was there. But yeah, and then there was the story about how John O'Keefe's dad was going to sit with them, and now it's false too. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, when the Proctor thing came out yesterday, I'm like, okay, well, I have to correct this now, because I'm getting inundated with messages saying, is Proctor fired? Is Proctor fired? And I'm like, and so I had to make an announcement. I said, no, Michael Proctor has not been fired. We should vet our sources and be very careful. And he's had a meltdown on social media since then. He has posted that he's, call him Emperor, Naked Emperor, I think he's calling me. I'm not sure. And he is, I don't know, saying that he's going on Krusty's stream, but he's already been on these various streams with these people. Last week, I didn't make a big deal of this. I saw these. Some of these comments were disturbing that I saw, but I didn't make a big deal of it. Like when I saw, show you. Like when I'm seeing these, like in there. Oh, yep, making friends with her. That's nice. Hi, Lindsay. Yeah, okay. TB is back on the warpath against me. He is. I agree with a lot more with you than you realize. These are like the anti-Karen Reed people. Not a great look for free Karen Reed. Okay. Or these ones, telling them I never agreed with any of that, like what we're doing out there, the protesting. He's urged people not to go to Norfolk Superior Court. He goes, go to Uncle Joe's house instead, except there's no indictments at Uncle Joe's house. Like, the protesters are at Norfolk Superior Courthouse because that is where Karen Reed is on trial. So that's why we're going there, and they've been buttering him up. Oh, Sean's a good guy. He's so close, and he's falling for it. He's going right into the trap. And this person, Lavish Love, who is just one of the ugliest people on Twitter, and she says that Karen is a grade A manipulator, and he says maybe. So there's that. And then, yes, this is not a good moment for the pink shirts. That's what he calls us. He's calling us the pink shirts now because, again, and I keep hearing how Sean has done so much, and this is what the people tell me, that he's done so much. What has he done? I'm just curious. Like, what has he done besides rant on his YouTube channel, make up his own brand within the brand, sell merch, start to have super chats, sell memberships? Like I've seen that. I haven't seen him leave Florida. I go to every single court date. I haven't seen him at one. I was there every day for the trial. Didn't see him there once. I saw a lot of people. I saw people fly in from England, Arizona, all over the place. No Sean on the Gulf. Okay. We've had a lot of people, creators flying twice. Larry, the DUI guy, came in. The Glare came in. People from like Melanie, Mark, everybody came here for the trial, but I didn't see Sean. And I've yet to see him at a single fundraiser, which he's actually discouraging. He wasn't happy about this dinner that they raffled off, which raised $15,000 for the Karen Reed Legal Defense Fund. And she needs money. This is an expensive trial. And so that's why I always share the popcorn sales, and I use my platform because you need money to fight this. And so that's what I'm doing. And so maybe I missed something where he cracked this case wide open, and Karen, we found out like undeniable proof that Karen's not guilty. And I haven't seen it. I've written a number of things, like posting the picture of Jennifer McCabe at the Proctor's house, which I was indicted for on September 25th, finding out that Judge Cannoni's brother represented Chris Albert. I've seen all of these, but it's, and then we have this one where he says, Sean, how do you and Aidan, what do you think about Aidan and his mob and how they treat the witnesses? and is it as in the mockery and harassment? And he said, it's horrible. So it's like he's buying into this whole thing here where we are harassing witnesses, and the pink shirts, as he calls them, it's horrible. He's conceding this. So these are McAlbert talking points. And, he says, Aidan is trash and Sean knows it. Thumbs up. Again, I don't care if he takes shots at me. That is not my concern. My concern is ponying up with people who want to put an innocent woman in jail for the rest of her life and don't want justice for John O'Keefe. Yeah, good to hear. So, yeah, I mean, that's the shit that I have, a problem with. And he called Karen, I think he called her a grade A manipulator in one of these. Like, somebody called her a grade A manipulator. Yeah, Karen is I never agreed with any of that, AKA our tactics in protesting. I never agreed with any of that coming to the courthouse. He's like against showing up at the courthouse. He thinks it's a waste of time. We should all be at Uncle Joe's house where no indictments currently exist. I think Sean is a good guy who fell down a rabbit hole. And then she says Karen is a grade A manipulator. Yeah, maybe she is. So I don't think Karen is a grade A manipulator. I think she's an innocent woman. And now he's talking about how he's been in contact with them and he's going to do a stream with 𝗏𝗏. And all I'm saying is I'm out. You can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit if you follow him, but I'm out. I want nothing to do with this. I'm not going to trash him. I'm not going to turn him into content, nothing like that. There will be none of that. But I need to explain that, I see that people believe what he's saying, and a lot of people believe that. And I would be irresponsible if I didn't correct misinformation. If I didn't come on here and I see misinformation and I say, no, that's actually not true. And this person that you're getting your information from is not exactly reliable. Like I would be irresponsible if I didn't say that. And so I hope he snaps out of it. I hope this is clearly an ego thing. And I am not his enemy. I don't want any longstanding war with him. I don't, but it's like, at some point, it's like, I have to get off the ride. So that's it. That's all I'm saying. But, so that's it. So anyway, that's my morning bus stop live. I was going to do, like I said, I did it on YouTube today just because of the election. And, I wanted to show some of those screenshots so you saw what I was talking about, that it's like there's never any acceptable reason to break bread with crusty panties. I mean, she's vile and she's horrible, and she said some of the worst things possible, obviously, but not only me, but about Karen Reed and all of her supporters, like the things that she does to them. She conspired to put me in jail with the fake victim who he's now ponying up with. And so none of that is okay with me. And I don't want any part of it. And if he wants to do that, he can do that, but I will not be partaking. So, all right, cool. Anybody got anything else before we get on with my day here? Because I got a lot more shit. I got way more important shit to work on than this. The trial's postponed. We got to talk about that. Moving to April. But yeah, and I've seen him post about didn't you say Sandra Birchmore wasn't killed? I didn't say that. I just blindly believed what was in the media, and that was that she killed herself. I didn't look into it, and I've admitted that. And I didn't say that. I'm like, it looks like she killed herself. That's what was reported, the same way it was reported that John O'Keefe was hit by a car. And quite frankly, the Karen Reed story opened my eyes up to that. And Kirk Minahan's podcast opened my eyes up to that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you guys are totally right about this, actually. This woman clearly didn't commit suicide, and that was it. That's it. I never reported it as a fact that she was committed suicide. I'm just reporting what was out there. That's it. So I'm glad that the truth has come out and that Sandra Birchmore's killer is in jail. I just hope that the police who covered up for him also, have it. I'm going to post my prediction map shortly on social media, so check that out. My prediction election map. But okay, what time am I on tonight? 7:30. So, all right, cool. Anyway, guys, Kirk was on it first, and I always give props to people who are on it. Kirk was that podcast. The case blew the Sandra Birchmore thing wide open, and I definitely think that the Karen Reed thing brought more attention to the Sandra Birchmore case because they started investigating Sandra after they started investigating Karen. But all right, guys, I am going to call it a day, and we'll see you guys all at 7:30 tonight. All right, peace, Turtle Riders.